So how you guys feel coming to Comic-Con and seeing your characters everywhere?
Awful.
Well, Tom, your characters, a bunch of them.
No, it's awesome. We love it, honestly. Every year there's more and more. And the great part is you always find the ones that, like, there's bajillions of the main characters. And then you get to see, like, the secondaries and stuff. People really know the show. And so it's just wall-to-wall, Finns, Jakes, Rainicorns, Ice King.
The secondaries are, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like when you start seeing like the B-list and C-list, where you're like, wow, that guy like worked his butt off on a lemon grab costume.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's like really great, you know. But you know, we were saying like, just since the show started, I remember the first time I saw somebody dressed like Ice King. You know, and it's like, you just get so excited. You're like, wow, you know, the show's connecting with people, you know, and
that was the first year at Comic-Con. There was a family that was dressed up as all the characters before any of like the official costumes were out.
Ground floor.
So yeah, they were all homemade.
I know. I wonder if they come here now and go, it's over, man. We were so ahead of the curve. But they now you see like numbers of Ice King, Finn, Jake, you know, like we said, like the really obscure characters.
Yeah.
I passed by a very fetching Princess Bubblegum on the way in here, and was
Tom's
thinking,
like, well, hello.
I was thinking unclean thoughts. You know, to me, that's what's cool about coming here. It's kind of a kind of boots on the ground way to see how the show is connecting with people, because you know the way animation, you're kind of closed off in this, you know, geodesic dome where, you know, you're drawing and people are drawing and recording and editing,
recording very dark
recording in a booth and you know, no windows in it, and the shows take a year to come out. I mean, you know, this is all stuff you know, but it's like, you know, that's what's great about Comic-Con. It's like people who see that finished product and go, this really connects with me more than other shows I watch and other shows you're on. You know, thanks for that, and we're like, you know, thank you back for
liking
this
it.
thing that we're a cog in the machine of, you know, it's a trip
and a part of it.
Can you comment for me on what the story actually means to you guys? Because I hear so many different ideas. Like it's a nihilist story. It's a beautiful thing for children. It's a surrealist fantasy. How do you think about it?
For me personally, especially being playing Finn, it's really about like almost like the brother relationship between Finn and Jake. That's what it comes down to for me. And then everything else, it's just all these. It's kind of a lot of real situations in this insane world. And then he was talking earlier about like you have episodes where they're just sitting around doing nothing in this crazy world, but they're just chilling and playing some stupid game, and it's the best. I love seeing that stuff.
And and if the alarm goes off, they'll go and fight the evil of the universe. But in the meantime, they're just farting around bored playing video games. Like, yeah, and I think the show really is all those things. You know, I mean, it's it's a dark kind of Grimm's fairy tale.
There's a really dark backstory to the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a dark. You know, it's post-apocalyptic fiction. It's like a goofball buddy sitcom. It's it's The Simpsons. It's Meatballs. It's it's where J.R.R. Tolkien and Car 54. Where are you, meet? You know.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like,
it's very touching. It's strangely touching.
And it's all from Pan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all that strangely touching stuff is inside this guy. You know what I mean? Who's been thinking about this stuff for years and drawing it in little notebooks and miraculously got a chance to pitch it to a network that actually got it and saw potential in it and let him do things pretty much his way and gave him a long leash. So it's like, that perfect storm. I mean, I always say that, if you let the creators be creators, that's where the great stuff happens. When you these suits try to micromanage everything, and like, oh, let's add a sidekick, or let's do this, or is there any way to put a girl in there? And then everything winds up being this committee thing that's got no soul.
Right.
And this show is all about the soul, and it's fun to be, one of the elements that Penn plugs in for this soulful, cool, deep thing that he makes. And I don't think he even knows where it's going or how it's working out. I mean, he probably has a vague idea, but he's just kind of letting the world kind of blows him around like a leaf, the world of Adventure Time, I'm saying. And, I think he kind of half has a plan and half like, ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that, but let's do that.
Yeah, let's try it now and stuff. So
does it catch you guys off guard often? Like, really, that's going on?
Yes, I am caught off guard almost every single week because I never know what to expect, and then you're pleasantly surprised when you see the storyboard and the script, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm same thing. I'm usually caught off guard when the storyboard, gets delivered to your house and you read it and you go, wow, this is like, like those, we were saying those first ones about Ice King's backstory where there's not very many laughs in it because there's not supposed to be, and you're going, wow, this is a totally different type of episode, and it's really, you're reading it like it's a book, and not like it's a storyboard that you got to do a recording on tomorrow. You're just going, wow, I want to see what. And not every show is like that. Like obviously, like especially like some of the more preschooly kind of stuff is all about formula. Every episode of a PBS Kids show is pretty much the exact same as all the other episodes.
Little sing along here and there.
Yeah, and if you do something weird, people go, what's wrong with the show? With Adventure Time, people love the change-ups.
Can I have one really quick comment on gender issues in this thing? Because there's a lot about romance and love and crushes really fast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Go for it, Tom.
Thank you. Yeah. There is a lot of playing with gender on this show. Fiona and Cake are female simulacrums of the Adventure Time of Finn and Jake, and then there's there's the Ice Queen, played by Gray Delisle, who when she records, I stand next to her and they go, "Do it as Ice King," and then Gray just do exactly what he did, just parrot Tom, and it's I think a lot of shows don't really pay attention to those aspects of things, and like Adventure Time has much more of a mixed fan base than other shows. Like there's as many females and older people, but girls like the show, and there's stuff in there for females that probably wouldn't be there on like a conventional like superhero kind of cartoon or whatever. Like they're very much boys clubs, and even Adventure Time has really strong female in control characters that are kind of and some Princess Bubblegum is very capable but also a little crazy, crazier as things go on. Flame Princess is very passionate. You got Marceline is a really strong character who girls and women really identify with. There's they see a lot of versions of her walking around Comic-Con. The female characters are really strong, and Penn is also hires a lot of female writers and storyboard artists, which a lot of the shows in the Boys Club of animation don't do. And so I think there's a really great sensibility, and then a lot of it I think Penn is able to get in that adolescent longing head, where you're just lonely and you want somebody to share your life with and hang out with and maybe make out with a little bit, and I think there's a lot of that kind of adolescent yearning on the show too that really captures that, and better than a lot of live action shows. It's like, wow, this is like not since Freaks and Geeks have I like see this feeling like captured so good, It's kind of like Freaks and Geeks of set in a J.R.R. Tolkien world, or Mad Max world, whatever it is.
The tragedy of the Ice King.
He's tragic.
He is so brought down by his longing, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, he tried to be a good guy. He lost the battle. And it's kind of like a Wolfman, you know what I mean? Where he got bit by this crown, and he's like, I can't help it. It turns him, and this is probably too deep, stupid actory talk about cartoons, but like I likened it to as his brain gradually went away. Older people I've known that have Alzheimer's and stuff like that, where I was just talking to a fellow voice actor whose dad is going through Alzheimer's now. So like this guy that you remember as being this strong, in control guy who suddenly starts losing pieces of himself. His physical capabilities are there, but he just doesn't remember who he was or who you are or what stuff. So I'm like, wow, the Ice King has Alzheimer's. It's like.
I had an even weirder reaction to that because it seemed to me like what bit him and wrecked him in the crown is almost like the weight of having to be a macho dude.
Absolutely.
And like he's sort of longing for this thing he can't have in princesses and everything.
Oh yeah, social ineptitude.
Like the responsibility of the crown and taking stuff on like brought him down.
Well, I know the responsibility of remaining as macho as I am can be crushing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this guy. When he flexes, it's just crazy.